You have dedicated your life to the inner diamond meditation. You feel strongly about it. It has changed the lives of many of your students, you yourself. There's so many meditations out there. If someone Googles meditation on YouTube, a million options show up. What is it that's so unique and profound about inner diamond that that was the one for you? What's clinched it for you?
What clinched it for me was the transformation I saw. I was doing a meditation for 8 years. My mind got quiet for 20 minutes a day, but nothing else changed in my life. Everything else was still the same. So I'd react the same way, I'd respond the same way. I was still attracting the same kind of stuff, and those are the things I wanted to change. So I started doing the inner diamond meditation, and a couple things happened. One, because I started working with the colors, and again, recognizing what characteristics, what qualities I wanted to connect more in my life, I had the tools to do that consciously. Like, oh, this color, I can bring this color in my life, and I can really connect and be that quality. And it was so profound for me. The other thing with the colors I feel is really important to understand is once I brought in a color, I knew that that color was vibrating in my field for 24 hours. So the tubes of light meditation that I do every day, it's working with these colors of the royal blue, the rose, the violet, and once I bring them in, they're there for the next 24 hours. So I can spend just 5 or 10 minutes a day meditating, and I'm walking around in this high vibrational place for the rest of the day, carrying these colors with me and any other of the 24 colors I want to be in my field. The other piece that I really was profound for me as I learned the inner diamond was a conscious connection to my higher self, to my soul. So I know so many people I work with, they're asking, what is my soul purpose? What am I here to do? How can I connect with this? I'm lost. I'm feeling disconnected. This is a conscious connection with the soul vibration. And you learn how to be in alignment and connected, and it opens you to receive insights, inspiration, guidance from your higher self. So many people are walking around disconnected from their highest self, their essence of who they really are. And so this meditation is, I love it because it's so profound. And so many people I work with, people that have taken the classes, all of a sudden they wake up and they go, oh, I need to do this, or I need to connect in with this person. And all of a sudden their life expands, or they get that inner guidance, or they're connected with that inner guidance. And it's like, oh, this feeds my soul. This feeds my spirit. It brings me passion, it brings me joy, and something that they didn't see before they started doing the meditation. So I've seen people totally shift and transform what they do, what they think they were here to do, and what they are actually here to do, simply by opening up to these higher levels within themselves and to their essence. One of the aspects of the inner diamond is to really help understand who we are on an energetic level. So that we all have something, we're walking around in it, something called the personality body. We also have a soul body. But in order to connect more fully with ourselves on a soul level, it's also important to understand these energy fields that we're walking around with, referring to our personality body. So we all know we have a physical body. We're walking around in it. Outside of that, we have an etheric body. It's some people refer to it as our second body. A lot of people are seen etherically. So when people see etherically, They may see color or the chakras or energies that exist in this second body that's around us. Outside of that, we have our emotional body, where we carry and create our emotions. So sometimes we have different things in our lives where we've created a lot of heavy emotions, a lot of grief, a lot of anger, whatever that is. Once it's created, it sits there until we release it sometimes. Okay. Outside of that, we have our what's called our lower mental body, where our thoughts are created. So thoughts, and this is the personality, doesn't create from light. It doesn't create from our soul. It creates from experiences or things that keep us stuck, or it's not enlightened. It doesn't create in an enlightened space. So the mind, the lower mental body, would create perhaps judgment or blame, or it sees things in black and white. A lot of people referred to these when I've read books and talked to other teachers. It's like this is where we create from a concrete mind. So it's like things get stuck in that field, and it's like we only look at something this way or from this perspective. So when we do the meditation, it uplifts us out of this personality body and this quantum point, the tip of the magical hat that I refer to. It's called the abstract mind. It's the higher mental body. So then we can see things abstractly. We can see things beyond black and white, beyond judgment, beyond blame, beyond what our lower mind creates. So when we start understanding these different aspects of who we are, and that we're walking around with these energies that we've created, this is one of the things the inner diamond does, is as we fill our field with light, we get to see, I do that, or I respond that way, or I feel that way every time, or I go into self-judgment, or a feeling of wanting to close off to the world every time I make a mistake. Like, what response do we have to different situations? And a lot of those are because of patterns that we carry around in this personality body. And some of these, I just worked with somebody a couple weeks ago where she was doing a session. I do personal sessions, and I look into where these patterns come from, a root pattern. So when I was looking at this, and she's feeling like she's not living her life to the fullest, and she's really hard on herself. So when I looked into her energy field, I saw her as a 4-year-old little girl with her knees up, her hands covering her face, and just sitting in a corner feeling this shame. And so when I continued to look into that, where that energy came from, here she had a very her daycare provider or babysitter at that time was an aunt who just was so hard on her and all of the kids that she dealt with, but her way of dealing with the kids was shaming them. So at the age of 4, she is in this place for a couple years that created this heavy, heavy shame. And every time anybody tried to help her or give her guidance, she felt it as a judgment against what she was doing, and she just would go into hiding. So that's what I talk about with what we carry in our field will set up a response to a situation. So now it's not her aunt doing that, but anybody else in her life that has any kind of disagreement or correction for her, she goes into that same response. Her 4-year-old created it. Okay? Didn't have anything else to do. So those are the things that we can release. We can recognize them, we can see them, and we can release them. So we're free of that energy. It's not controlling our life, it's not controlling our responses.